That threw me off, dude. It threw me through a loop. All right. Anyway, we are back here today with the Marathon Mortgage Happy Hour crew, Mike Witek and
Rory Farrell.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing we always do. We're gonna crack open a beer. We're gonna discuss the beer a little bit, discuss some industry things that are going on, and discuss some wins for the week. So
Yeah, perfect.
All right, awesome.
So as usual, I'll start off the beer.
Yeah. What do we got today?
We got Warwick Farm up in Jamison, PA, Bucks County. Been around for 2-3 years. I think they opened at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh.
There goes our equipment.
That was all over the place. Yeah, second episode, they just get mics get fried.
But yeah, unfortunately, the timing of them opening wasn't great with the pandemic. But what they did to kind of rectify that or fix that while the pandemic was going on was they sold cans out the back of their little garage brewery and effectively supplemented income that they probably wouldn't otherwise have because of the pandemic shutting everything down. Bottom time, they were building out their facility, and I mean, literally from day one, they were making good beer, which is rare for a brewery, especially when you first start. That you're small, it takes a while for them to figure out their systems and scale up from a homebrew process. From day one, their beers were excellent. So, and the facility there, like big open field, big open beer garden, one of the most stunningly beautiful from a design perspective brewery, tasting rooms. If you haven't been there, it's worth checking out, especially on a nice day.
Warwick Farms.
Warwick Farm Brewing. Yep.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Yep.
I'll have to go.
And I thought you might like this one because it's called Overland IPA.
I love it. I love the truck and the tent on the top.
Yep.
That's a sick setup.
You're a car nerd, but dry hopped with Citra, Mandarina, Bavaria hops. It's a hazy IPA, and it is 6.5.
Yes, correct.
Cool.
Yeah, 6.5.
So,
And that looks like crossbreed between a Land Rover and a Jeep Gladiator. I don't know if maybe Land Rover has a truck version that I don't know of, but
cheers.
Cheers, brother. That's interesting. I don't know.
I wouldn't buy a 4-pack of it, but
Amen, brother. No, I might. I don't know. I kind of like the artwork. I may buy a 4-pack just because of the artwork.
that's good. It's a hazy IPA. It's not on the high end of the IPA scale. You're somewhere right in the middle at 6.5. So
yeah, it's pretty
nice
good.
and fruity if you give it a smell.
It is fruity, yeah. I smelt that as soon as you opened it, and it shot everywhere. No, yeah, I'm going to go check them out, that Warwick Farm Brewing, Jameson. All right, cool.
All right, industry stuff. Get
Industry
on
stuff.
into it.
Let's get into it. So today we wanted to talk about contingencies, I guess, on a pre-qualification. And when you're going into this market right now, there's so many offers. People are getting beat out left and right. I mean, there's cash deals, there's pre-qualifications that are very clean with no contingencies, and there's pre-qualifications that have contingencies on them. And one we wanted to talk about specifically was when you have a house sale contingency, or you need to come up with extra cash somehow. We had a couple options or ways to do that that we spoke about.
So anytime you can eliminate a contingency from your pre-approval letter, your offer is going to look better, and just try and make it as clean as possible. Give the buyer every possible chance to get their offer accepted. So one way that when you have a house to sell, there's a couple different ways that we can kind of start looking at that to take that contingency off. We won't get too deep into each one. There might be separate episodes, but a 401k loan.
There's a 401k loan. Another contingency for either house sale contingency or funds is a swing loan. You can do a gift. A gift's like probably the most common thing we see happening.
The easiest to document, the easiest
Absolutely,
process.
The easiest. The thing with the swing loan is you have to take that into account with your debt to income ratio. So you kind of have to be a really very well qualified borrower in order to do a swing loan.
Yeah, but the swing loan, you have to be able to afford your current mortgage, the mortgage on the new house, and the swing loan.
The payment on the swing loan, yep.
Swing loan mortgage.
And typically that gets paid off. Like, you do a swing loan if you're going to be selling your home that you're living in, but your pre-qualification is not contingent on the sale of it, because you have to keep the house, obviously, until you settle on the new one, and then afterwards you sell it and you pay that swing loan off.
Yeah. Well, that said, you could prepare for a worst case scenario, get a swing loan set up, and then once you get a house under contract to buy, throw your house on the market. In this market, it might sell before you buy the new house anyway, which is, it's just a backup plan at that point to be able to access the equity in your current property without having to sell it ahead of time.
Yeah, and that is a product we offer. There's not many places out there that kind of offer swing loans simultaneously while doing your loan. You kind of have to go to two separate places to get it done. So we can do that all kind of under the same roof here. Yeah. And then the rent back option, I don't know if you...
I haven't talked about it. You can fire away at it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, so basically what a rent back... I have a client doing this now, or they at least we're looking at the option of doing this. With a rent back, what happens is there's so many offers and people out there shopping right now, so you want to get that house sale contingency off of your pre-qualification. Now, this is kind of a more risky thing to do, and I don't advise doing it, but if people are really kind of out there and their offers are getting beat out left and right, and they don't really have too many options, this is an option that you could do. So what you would do is just put your house up for sale, sell your home, and then since kind of in this market sellers have the upper hand, you kind of want to negotiate a way to rent back the home. So whether it be for a month or 2 months or whatever you guys end up figuring that out to be, you'll rent the home back, you'll stay in your home, and then during that period of time, we can take the house sale contingency off because you'll have the liquid cash in your bank account. And then you can, hopefully get a stronger offer out there and get something under contract in the meantime. So,
yep.
Do you want to touch on anything there? Or?
No, that's perfect. So I think the point is that, trying to get that home sale contingency off of your pre-approval is the best possible way to kind of present your new offer.
Absolutely.
And there's options to do that. It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's certainly something that we look into. And even if you don't want to be carrying both of those mortgages, having that ability on the pre-approval to not have the contingency on there, we always look for that option. And then if you sell the house ahead of time, you sell the house ahead of time.
Yeah. So that's just some of the options that you can look into when you're trying to eliminate some contingencies on your pre-qualification or pre-approval. But as always, reach out to us if you got any questions. We're always here to help in that factor. So what would you say your win for the week is?
So I had settlement Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Anyway, I had a settlement on Tuesday that they did the walkthrough right before. Obviously, typically happens. There was some debris or something that needed to be cleaned up. They renegotiated a $300 seller credit, which needed to be added to the closing disclosure, the settlement document, literally minutes before they showed up at the settlement table. And I can't stress enough how important it is for loan officers to be at the settlement table, because I was there. I kind of coordinated with our processor, coordinated with the closer and the underwriter, got that added to the closing disclosure pretty quickly. While they were kind of working on that behind the scenes, I was doing the rest of the paperwork, going through it with the client, getting basically 90% of it signed, so that when that updated Alta and the updated CD came through, that was the last thing that we signed. We got it out, and nothing was delayed. Yeah. Now, if I wasn't there, the loan officer wasn't there, the title company, whoever's doing the the settlement, they'd be dealing with that and not being able to go through the paperwork, and everything would just be delayed. And it's the most important part of this whole process is the end. And when it doesn't go well, no matter how well it went for the whole underwriting process, that's the lasting impression. So just being there, being able to kind of rectify that quickly and pass it off as, oh, this is no big deal, let's get it done. And 30 minutes later, we're out of here and everyone's happy. And it was a nice thing to be able to do to kind of leave that lasting impression.
For sure. No, that's huge. And it really kind of goes to say too, you always get crazy looks when you go to settlement sometimes, when title companies aren't used to a loan officer showing up, and you show up and you're there to do the papers. Title companies love that. Everybody kind of loves it when you're there. The realtors love it. The clients love it. The title company loves it, as long as it was a good process.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. By the time the client gets through the underwriting process, they just want the whole thing to be over. They want the keys. They don't want to have to dilly-dally any more than they already have throughout the past couple of weeks. So getting that thing done, signed quickly, everyone's happy, everyone's got keys, and the seller's got their check. Title company moves on to their next settlement, and that's the goal.
Boom. That's it.
So how about your win?
I guess my win would be, there was a client that had reached out to me. Over the weekend, I've been trying to go to some open houses. I went to 2 on Saturday, and just be out there networking with new people and meeting new realtors. And while I was out and about, I got a call from one of my realtors. The client was shopping a rate. So I was able to kind of provide him with a really good quote on that rate. I really fought hard for that deal. I had won him over. And he was kind of, ready to sign on with us and come work for us. But unfortunately, I guess something along the lines of the house inspection happened, and he kind of backed out of the deal. So, although it sounds like it's a loss in a way, like I lost the deal or whatnot, I really didn't. It fell through on their end, and that's okay. That's like totally fine. But I feel like I won a client. I really was out there working for him. And he told me over the phone, he said, since I called you on Saturdays, like you've been in my corner trying to help me out and like do everything you can to help me in this situation. And so I know for a fact when he gets the next house under contract, he'll be calling me back for a quote at least.
And you nailed it. You said, you were in his corner, and that's kind of the whole point of what we do and why we like our job and why we like our business and the company that Tom built and the culture at our company. It's like, if you're doing the right thing for the client, it turns out
absolutely
well for you in the end as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
it always shakes out in the end. So
shout out Bob Rubin.
Bob Rubin.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, that's pretty much all we got for this week.
Yeah, that was
pretty good cruising week there. So, all right. Cheers, man.
Cheers. Let's enjoy the rest of this. Let everyone go. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Beautiful weekend. Happy Mother's Day.
Oh yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Shout out
to all the mothers.
All the moms.
Shout out to all the moms. So, all righty.
All right.
See ya.
Have a good weekend.
Peace.
Thanks.